What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video of me talking watches. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about my first high-end watch, and that is the Longines Hydroconquest. And although I did review this watch about half a year ago, I did talk very generally about it, and I feel like now that this watch is turning about 2 years since I've owned it, and because it's my first high-end watch, I decided to talk to you about it again. But now more of, from the owner's perspective rather than from the unboxing perspective, right? And kind of tell you how it's performed, for the past 2 years. And yeah, that basically is gonna be 2 years of ownership of the Longines Hydroconquest. So let's get into today's episode. So it was about 2 years ago when I was a little bit tired of all of the watches that I used to own, and they were all around $100, $200, $300, I think. I don't think I had a $300 watch. But I've been in love with watches for so long, and I said that, hey, I think it's the time for me to get a more high-end watch. And for me at the time, a high-end watch meant a Swiss manufacturer, a more recognizable brand in the watch community, and sapphire crystal, better quality, better build. When I said to myself that, hey, within a month or two, I don't care, I'm gonna get a more high-end watch. I didn't have a huge budget, obviously, and I said that for something around $1,000, $2,000. This is kind of what I was, going for. And I didn't know about the Longines Hydroconquest, and about a week before I actually got this watch, I went to a watch store, and right by the door, they had the Longines boutique first. So I stopped by, I had a look at the Hydroconquest. It just jumped at me because it was the perfect size, 41 millimeter, black dial, black bezel, beautiful sports steel. It looked really nice, and it said 300 meters of water resistant, and it's kind of what I'm looking for all the time. I don't know, I'm a divers guy. I just love divers watches, and this just looked great. I had it on my wrist, it looked amazing, and about a week later I went and I got the watch. Now what we have here is the version in black. There's also a version in blue, and I don't think I love that as much as black. And don't get me wrong, a navy or bluish dial and bezel, they look amazing. They're very versatile. They're very, classic and elegant too. But the thing is, with time, and because I don't change my watches all the time, because I don't own a lot of watches, I feel like you can get more tired of having that same watch on your wrist if it was blue. So for whatever reason, I thought that black is timeless, and for that reason, I got the black. So the Hydroconquest 1 comes in two colors, black and blue. If you get the new Hydroconquest that is available now, it also comes in a green and a gray color. So you have more variety to choose from. From the first Hydroconquest, you only had black and blue. I will highly recommend you guys to go with the black. Now the watch features a 41 millimeter case with only 11 millimeters of thickness, and here is one thing that I want to talk to you about, the thickness. So the watch at 11 millimeters, I consider it to be very thin, and with that being said, I also consider it to be very, very comfortable. There's nothing more annoying than dressing up and the watch not wanting to go underneath your sleeve. Whenever you're wearing a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and the watch is in the way, it gets frustrating. So if you have to, dress up for a full day at work, it's gonna get annoying for the watch to rub on your cuff. And yeah, this is one thing that I absolutely love about the watch. It's so thin, it fits underneath the sleeve, and it looks gorgeous. So from that standpoint of it being so slim, it really is comfortable. And although the watch is on a heavier side, I have to say it's the perfect balance between comfort and actually the watch being legit well built. Simple as that. Now when it comes to a watch being on a heavier side, I don't know if a lot of people also experience that, but when I hold a watch and I feel it on a heavier side, I think it's built better. And that is simply because I feel like the metals are better quality, crystal is better, so everything that is heavier, I think that it's just a better quality. And I have a problem with very light watches. For example, Tudor Pelagos, I just can't do that watch. That titanium or whatever that watch is made out of, it makes it so light that I feel like it's a plastic watch, and I just can't take that watch serious. So this guy, on a heavier side, you feel it on your wrist, but with that being said, it's super, super comfortable. It has a date complication, which I find it very useful. So many times I wonder what date is it today, and I truly wish that this watch also had a day complication, not only date, But it is what it is. The date is positioned at 3 o'clock and it's very easy to read. It doesn't have a magnifying glass, but with that being said, the date is pretty easy to read, so I like that. From the more aesthetics perspective, I truly love the red point on the second hand. I don't know why, but there's no red in this watch absolutely at all. It's only like metal, white, and black, but that red dot, that red arrow at the end of the second hand, it makes such a difference. It's so beautiful. It immediately grabs your attention and it just looks amazing. I love that. This from the aesthetics and from the visual standpoint, it really looks nice. Now the watch comes with 300 meters of water resistance, and whether you're gonna take it in the water or no, or whether you're gonna take it that deep or no, having 300 meters of water resistance means much more than just that. Obviously, whenever I'm in the lake, I swim with the watch on my wrist because I fully trust the watch. And the thing is, I never go 300 meters deep in the water. But the thing is, for a watch to be so durable and for a watch to be so resistant at such a high pressure down at 300 meters deep in the water, it has to be built for it to be tough, durable, resistant, and to last. And if a watch is built to resist that pressure, then the watch will have no problem for you to take it, rock climbing and hiking and fishing, and anywhere you would take this watch is just ready for anything. So this is how I see whenever I have a watch with 200, 300 meters of water resistance. If people would tell me that, yo, you never go 300 meters deep in the water, why would you need that? 30, 50 meters is more than enough. No, it isn't more than enough. And again, if the watch is built to last at that high pressure deep in the water, then the watch has no problems while it's here, not in the water. You get the point, right? So for the watch to have 300 meters of water resistance, it has a screw down crown, which is amazing. The crown has beautiful, very different though, very robust. It's not as curvy as the other watches, but the crown guards are amazing. I really like the fact that they're very different than any other watches, and having them so sharp really brings out that the toughness of the watch. And this watch is not meant to be pretty, and we also see that whenever we look at the case back. It doesn't have an open case back, so you can't see the movement, and therefore it's just a closed case back. That's all you're getting. This is a watch that is supposed to be a tool. This is a watch that is supposed to last, with a great sapphire crystal. And let me tell you, from my 2 years experience with this watch, taking it in the lakes, hiking with the watch, and just not even paying attention if I scratch it, or I hit it, or I bang it, and that is simply because I trust it. I have that peace of mind with this watch. The fact that it has a sapphire crystal, the fact that it has a closed case back, the fact that it has 300 meters of water resistant, this watch altogether just gives me peace of mind that anywhere I take it, anything I do, the watch will stay with me and the watch will perform no matter what. Now, taking a look at the bracelet, there's a few things that I want to point out. One, the bracelet is also on the heavier side, so I like that. It makes the whole watch balance out. It's not just a light bracelet with a heavier case, so then the watch kind of feels like it's going this way all the time. The weight is kind of consistent from, anywhere you look at the watch and however you hold it, so that is a great thing. The other thing, it has a diver's extension, so if you are indeed a diver, then it's very easy for you to, remove the watch, quickly use the extension, so then you can throw the watch on top of your scuba diving suit or whatever. So that is very useful and that is super easy. The thing that I don't like as much about the bracelet, but keep in mind this is pure personal preference, and that is because if you know anything about tapering and if you have any love for the tapering, then you will understand, because this bracelet has absolutely zero tapering. I know that I'm not holding the one with the bracelet, but I will attach some pictures here. But the bracelet is basically the exact same size, starting from the lugs all the way to the clasp and all the way back to the other side. That is kind of, from the visual point, I don't really enjoy that as much, so I do prefer a bracelet that is on a more narrowing and tapering side. So this is again just simply personal preference. So if you're not picky when it comes to that, then just completely disregard what I said. Now, the other cool thing that I like about the watch is the fact that it has approximately 72 hours of power reserve. That is more than the average. On the average, watches have around 48 hours of power reserve. It's really impressive when a watch is pushing for more power reserve. I think that's great because, you know, we want to switch watches around, and it really sucks whenever you want to pick up the watch 2 days later and it's stopped, so you gotta adjust the time, you gotta adjust the date, the day, and everything like that. This watch with the 72 hours of power reserve, much better, and I really enjoyed that. So I hope you enjoyed that too. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. This is my take on the Hydroconquest. This is what I think of it. This is my 2 years of ownership. I really love the watch. I think it's worth every single penny. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention the price, but I did spend around $1,500 Canadian dollars, which is about what, 1,200 US dollars, something like that. So I think it's a great watch. I think it's a beautiful piece, and overall it's a great tool watch. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Comment down below what you think of the watch. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.